Hello everybody, here I am in front of my persimmon tree here. I'm in South Florida and it's coming to be winter time now. And even in South Florida, we don't have as much fruit in the winter as we do all year. And how do we get fruit in the winter time if it's not growing as much as we'd like? We could go and buy it in the store from other countries. I don't like to get fruit from other countries. I like locally grown fruit. But how do we do that in the winter time? Well, today we're going to talk about dried fruit. Frozen fruit is another thing you could do to preserve fruit for the winter time, but dried fruit is a way to eat locally grown fruit, some of it that you might have grown yourself, off season or when it's not in season. Now, when it comes to health, dried fruit, there's good and bad things about it. I do not think when we take out the water out of the fruit, the high water content foods, we concentrate the sugar. So ultimately, they're not the best food for you, for your overall health. You want to eat foods that have its water liquid in them. So rehydrating the food when you eat them, if you dried it, is a good idea. But the benefits of dried fruit is, number one, you can eat them off season. And number two, when we look at natural sweeteners that are healthy, I think the best natural sweetener would be fruit. And the second best natural sweetener would be dried fruit. But the problem is when you buy dried fruit from the store, you don't know the source of where the fruit is coming from. Usually it's from another country, and they add chemicals to preserve the fruit. So if you are going to have dried fruit, I recommend you dry it yourself. And from a raw vegan standpoint, you don't know what temperature the commercial dryers are drying them at, and it's usually very high. Some of them just as high as maybe cooked, who knows? But know your source of where you're getting your food. And I am so excited because I often visit a local farm here in South Florida called Laura Farms. And my friend Julian at Laura Farms has so many different varieties of different fruits. And he's drying them now and making them available on his website for people to buy. And I was recently at his house and tasted some of these fruits. Dried star fruit, dried jackfruit, and dried mamey. Wow. These things are absolutely amazing. And I went out there, I've tasted these fresh many times, but now I had them dried. And yes, they were that much sweeter. So I want to control myself and not overdo it. However, if I'm looking to eat fruit, off-season fruit, or fruit that I can't necessarily get, I'm not getting dried fruit from the store. I'm getting it from Laura Farms' website. I'm going to put the link below. It's absolutely just tastes so delicious. So I'm going to show you a clip. Recently, I visited his house and I tasted some of these fruits. I've had these varieties fresh, and now I'm tasting them dried. So here goes that clip. All right, here we are. This is Julian from Laura Farms, and a lot of people always ask, what do you do with fruit when you have too much to eat? So he's going to show us what he does.
Well, what I'm doing now is dehydrating, and I've always been dehydrating. I've always had a dehydrator in the house because carambola, number one, is better than raisins. So, and also did mamey. And mamey is like, gosh, it's like a annihilator or starburst.
I didn't even know you could dry the mamey.
Wow. Yeah, here, check this out. There's like two varieties in there.
Wow, look at that.
Lorito's the really red one, and then the orange one is Key West.
Wow. That's really good.
It's like a starburst. It's chewy, and it tastes like pumpkin pie and sweet potato.
Wow, that's really good. Dried mamey.
Yeah.
And mamey's in season now?
Yeah.
So everyone get to the farm. I'll put the link below the video to get some.
Yeah, I got mameys for sale on the website. I got Lorito, Key West, I think some Akil mamey, and I think that's it. You got to go on the website, see what else is on there. But here's some carambola, and let me tell you, man, this is just to die for.
Yeah, I've done this before. What variety is this?
These are Kari, Kajang, Sri Kambangan, whatever's ripe. And they're super sweet.
Wow.
And there's nothing added. There's just...
Look at that. Dehydrated fruit.
No sugar added. Extra. No honey added. No sugar added. Just straight up cut fruit, put to dry. It doesn't need anything. So hopefully very soon I'm gonna start putting these things on the website for sale too. Like a mix, you know.
Yeah. What's that?
Okay, now this jackfruit. Now jackfruit, the trick with this is you gotta, let it wet it up in your mouth and then it gets soft. But if you try to like rip a piece off, you gotta rip out your teeth out because this is like leather. So
What variety do we know?
Yeah, this one is hold on. What variety is that? Okay. It's a seedling variety. That sprouted underneath a grafted golden nugget. So I have like 2 varieties on one tree, and it came out pretty good. It's a really long jackfruit. Looks like a champadek, but it's not a champadek. It tastes like jackfruit.
Did you name it yet?
No, I mean there's no branches. Just underneath the graft, they had 2 flowers sprout, and then it made fruit. And there's no branches or leaf underneath the graft.
Huh. That's delicious.
Yeah, jackfruit. If you let it, soften up in your mouth, it gets soft. Yeah, I'll show you the dehydrator.
Hey, check this dehydrator out. This is really cool. This is a commercial dehydrator. How many trays are in there? Wow.
20.
20 trays.
20 levels. Yeah. So
Wow.
right now it's empty.
And it's quiet too. That's a nice dehydrator. There's some mamey in there.
Yeah, this is some mamey that I put last night, and they're really warm and gooey, which is kind of like the way I love eating them.
Wow.
Just out of the dehydrator is just amazing.
Now, can people put this in the sun to dry, or it'll get bad before it dries?
Yeah, I mean that's how we used to do it back in the days. That's caveman style. I'm sure you can be done. I mean, I've seen videos on YouTube on how to make solar dehydrators. And solar dehydrators is you have to put them in a box with a cellophane top, see-through top, and hot air gets in and doesn't get out. Just
YouTube it, everybody. But how long do you keep it in there for?
24 hours.
24 hours.
Yeah. So far, this thing needs another 10 hours for it to be 24 hours.
All right. And again, he'll have all this dried fruit that we discussed on his website. So if you don't want to dry it or don't have it fresh, order it from his website. It's not like any dried fruit you'd ever get from the store or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely. Let me tell you, the least processed dehydrated stuff you'll ever have in your life. I mean, it's just cut fruit on the mat, in the dehydrator, in the Ziploc bag. You can't get more natural than that.
Nice. Right. All right, everybody, there you go. That was that clip. That makes me want to maybe consider drying some of these persimmons. I love fresh fruit with all its water content in it, but dried fruit has its benefits. And if I'm making a smoothie or something, I'm going to throw in some of these fruits that Julian has, and just to add a little bit of flavor to it and so on. If I'm living up New York, I'm definitely going to his website immediately and ordering some of these fruits. They're delicious in a colder environment. Just make sure you balance out your diet with a good amount of high water content fruit and vegetables. But these dry fruits can be a real treat. And you want to make sure if you are eating dry fruit, you get it from a reputable source that's keeping it raw. And also it's completely organic. And also it's not certified organic, because you got to pay a lot of money for it just to have the word organic on there. But I've seen these trees, and these trees are really high up there. And I don't see any spraying machines on his farm where he's spraying these high fruits on the trees or his jackfruits. So as far as I know, there's no toxins on these, and he's definitely not preserving them with chemicals, as you see in the video. There's just his dehydrator and him drying the fruit. So everybody, check it out. Order some of it now. He has it on his website. I think the link is like you buy 4 or 6 bags at one time, so you can take them if you're out for the day, or if you're just hiking or something, or if you just want to have food just in case you get that cooked food temptation or that temptation for junk food. You can throw some of this dried fruit in your mouth instead. All right, click on the link below. Thank you very much for watching. Until then, everybody, have a great day and a great raw life.